come. Good day, beautiful people. As you can see, we got Leia out again. About to do some work with her. About to work the buddy system with this Leia here. And basically what we're doing is a few things. We're working on some impulse control. We're working on some basic obedience. Working on engagement. You know, so working on quite a few things. I don't know if you guys can see it in the video. I think you can, but we have 2 piles of food, her kibble, on the ground. And basically what we're working on is her understanding that simply because something is on the ground doesn't mean she has permission to eat it. Only if we give her permission to eat it, and then when we tell her to stop eating it, she has to understand that she has to stop eating it as well, right? And the command for me that I use for any time that I want to tell a dog to stop doing something is no, right? That's typically the word I use to tell a dog that whatever you're doing, I don't like it, stop doing it now, right? So we're gonna work that system. And obviously you guys can stay tuned so you can see how we work that system. Yep. All right, Leia, come. Place. Sit. Down. Good girl. Good girl. Yes. Sit. Sit. You gotta figure it out. There you go. Good girl. Okay. Now, come. Right here.
Leia, come.
Oh, hold on. You gotta put it. Okay, go ahead. So, going forward, because we gotta work on her duration too. So, being that she got up, I'm gonna correct her first. And then once she's in that sit, then you call.
You want me to just do the sit while I sit?
No, you can do the sit with the place, down, back into the sit. And then once she is in that sit for 3 seconds, then I'm gonna call. Yeah.
Come on. Wait. Good. Sit.
Right, there you
Leia.
go, correct it.
Come on.
So now what we gotta do? Hey,
Hey,
stop
Leia.
it.
No. Come.
What I want to
Please.
use is, matter of fact, put a leash on it. Yeah, just keep a leash on it. That way we can easily grab the leash. Training is not always so mechanical and technical. Sometimes you gotta adjust in real time. You gotta be, you gotta be able to, like Bruce Lee said, be like water, my friend. Okay. Yeah. Bring it back in place.
Sit. Good.
Okay, put her in the down.
Leia, down.
Yeah, you ain't gotta hold the leash. We're only gonna use the leash if she gets up. So that's when you grab the leash. That way you ain't gotta try to grab her collar.
Leia, place. Sit. No, wait. Sit. Down.
Okay.
Down. Leia, no. Sit. Leia, sit.
So now here's what I want you to do also. Don't use her name so much, because that desensitizes her, especially when we want to correct her, right? We only really want to use her name if it's directly associated with a good feeling. You see what I'm saying? So we can call her initially to get her attention, but when you constantly repeat it like that, it desensitizes the importance of her name. You know what I'm saying? So when you're correcting her, you can either 2 ways. Verbally say no to get her attention so she understands that she's doing something you don't want her to do. Or if she's not responding to the verbal, that's when you grab the leash. Because the verbal no and the physical no are typically tied together. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we want to do that.
ahead. Place. Good. Sit. Sit. Good. Down.
Okay,
Good.
now, yes, so now put your foot, so yeah, there you go, yeah. So,
No.
remember yesterday, we came up with, once she goes down, because we know she's gonna pop back up, put your foot on it, that way if she goes to pop back up, she automatically gets that leash pressure, yeah.
Leia. Sit. Good. Down. Good.
Okay, and wait, there you go, and just hold it, yeah, and don't say nothing to her, don't say nothing to her, just let her figure it out. Yeah, just let her figure it out.
If she do figure it out, you go a treat.
You can, yep. There you go, good, yeah. Close this real quick, give you some more space. So now the key thing with this, right, because she has to learn that leash pressure, right? The key thing with this, there you go, let her figure it out, is not adding any more contention to it by saying any words, especially right now until she starts to figure it out. Because it's two things, right? When we add words, we add our emotions to it, right? So in order to make sure that we're not adding confusion into the equation in the beginning until she learns, we just gonna, when she goes down, put the foot on it. If she gets up, she's gonna have to figure out that eventually I gotta go back down, right? And then immediately when she goes back down, we give her the reward, so that way, every time we do it, she goes back down faster, right? So, yeah, just let her figure it out. See, this is what we call problem solving, right? And you know, with a dog like Leia, where she has, as you can see, she has strong opposition reflex, right? And this is where discernment comes in, because with dogs like her, right, because she has such an excessive food drive, you have to be careful not becoming, depending on that one specific way to communicate to her. Because the challenge is, if you don't have any food or anything to offer her, as you can see, she's very easily distracted, right? So, and you see this a lot. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. You see this a lot in the sport world, right? And this is not a knock to anybody that does sport. This is just the truth, right? A lot of those dogs, unless you have some sort of physical stimulant, which would be a e-collar, right? I'm not saying all the dogs, but a lot of those dogs, or you have some type of high value reward, which would be food, a toy, a tug toy, a bite toy, whatever it is, right? They don't respond the same if you didn't have that particular stimulus in place, right? So with a pet dog, right? With a pet dog, we don't want to have to be reliant on any outside tools outside of your voice and your physical presence to get the dog to perform how you need it to perform, right? And I try to explain this as carefully as I possibly can, because there's a lot of people in the world, specifically that does sport, that get their panties in a bunch when we start talking about the difference between pet obedience and sport obedience, right? And then you have a lot of consumers, right? A lot of people that look at the content online and they see those sport dogs performing, you know, they're very sharp, right? Which looks great. It looks great. But what they don't understand is how long it takes to get a dog to do that and be reliable. It takes a long time and a lot of repetition to get a dog to be reliable the same way it is if you had a toy or food in your hand to offer the dog, right? It takes a lot of repetition. So because we don't have that kind of time, right? We have to implement other fail-safes. I said other fail-safes. We have to implement other fail-safes, right? To be able to communicate with the dog effectively, to make sure that the obedience is more reliable for the everyday person that's not going to be out on the sport field, that doesn't want to use the e-collar, right? Doesn't want to have to rely on all of those secondary tools outside of the leash that they have to have the dog on anyway, right? So this is why I'm a component of using the leash so much, because you have to have a leash on your dog. And with the way that it's looking, a lot of those other tools like the e-collar and stuff like that, the way it's looking, I'm not saying that it's definitely going to happen, but with all the opposition and all of the Zach Georges and everything out there in the world, right? It's very possible that a lot of those tools are going to be obsolete. They're going to become illegal to use. So one thing I know that's never going to be illegal to use is a leash, right? Because it's actually illegal not to have your dog on a leash. So if I know that the leash is never going to be obsolete, then that means I should use the tool that's always going to be available as my main tool to communicate with the dog. So she has to learn this leash pressure. It's going to look very, I'm going to say barbaric in the beginning, right? Because of a couple of things, because she doesn't really understand what we're asking her yet. This is a part of the training. She has to learn what we're asking her, right? And because her opposition reflex is so high, right? We have to fight through that barrier in order for her brain to understand what we're asking her to do. So it's going to be a process. It's going to be a process, right? Okay, so now here's what I want you to do. Start applying pressure. And this is the other form of tactile communication, right? Start applying pressure to her back end. Yeah, there you go. Good. Now release it. Yeah. Now, if she gets up, if she puts her butt up, do it again. And maybe I should, matter of fact, bring her out here some, just so the camera can see better, because I know they can't really see in that corner over there. Okay, yep. Now when you apply the pressure, you don't want to push with your palm. You want to use strong fingertips, right? Yep, let her figure out, don't touch it, yep, let her figure out. Once she gets back to your side, right, give her a little praise.
Good.
Nope, don't. Yeah, once she turns her butt back, that's when you can give her a little praise. Okay, give her a little praise right
Good
there.
girl.
Yeah, you can give her some physical praise. There you go.
Good.
Good, good. We got to work through this, folks. I know some people are not going to like this, but we have to work through it. Right? Because avoiding this is not going to make it better. Right? Avoiding it is not going to make it better. I say it all the time. Avoidance does not equal compliance. Right? The only way we can get through this is get through it. That's the only way we can get through it. Right? So, let me see here. Okay.
Good girl.
Yeah. Okay.
Good.
Good. Okay. Put that little pressure on her butt. So you see how you're pushing with, you apply it, nope, like this, right on top. Because that's the difference. See the difference between this and this? It communicates something different, you know what I mean? There you go, yeah. Yeah, just hold it there, figure it out. Yeah, and especially with a dog like her, she has extreme leash reactivity, right? I'm gonna be real with you, right? And this is where a lot of people, a lot of trainers, this is where a lot of them they miss the bus, right? When she has her episodes, right? When she's in her bits of rage or when she's in her extreme fear stage, which she's in right now, right? Uh, there's no treat, there's no food that you can give her to redirect that energy, right? The fastest and most efficient way to communicate through to her is through some form of tactile communication, because that's the only thing that's going to be intense enough to match her intensity, or even a notch higher than her intensity, that's going to be able to break, right, that uh, level of excessive energy.
Good girl, Leia.
There you go.
Girl.
There you go. So as you can see, so now you can release it. Release the leash. There you go. Good. So now we're just gonna repeat the process again. So we're gonna go through the whole. So I'm gonna do it now. And we'll just keep repeating that, because what we're working to do, right? Nope. Good girl. Yes. What we're working to do. So remember, with her and with any dog, but especially with her, we have to do it in little pictures at a time. So the fact that she finally went down is the first picture. So we're going to focus on that now, right? Nope. And then we're going to work on getting more duration out of it, right? So let's do that again. Leia, come. Place. Sit. Good girl. Down. Good girl. Okay, so now she got to figure it out again. So now what we're looking for is for her to figure it out faster. That's all we're looking for now, is for her to figure it out faster, right? Because if she figures it out faster, that means she's starting to understand it. Because eventually, once she feels that pressure, she'll go right back down.
Right.
And then once we get that, then we can start working on duration. There you go. Nope. There you go. Good girl. Good girl. Yes, good girl. Now, this process, right? People are going to ask, well, why don't you just give her food to make her go down? Obviously, we can do that. But the problem is, she's not making the connection between, once I give her the food, right, when she goes down, she's not making the connection. There you go. That's a good girl. That's a good girl. Yes. So as you see, she figured it out much faster, right? So now what I'm going to do, right, we're going to bring her out of the sit. Good girl. So you see how she figured it out faster that time, and she's much more relaxed in it, right? So we're still going to keep doing it, because she's still fighting a little too much in the beginning, right? Like I said, what we're looking for is, as soon as, if she pops up, as soon as she feels that pressure, she goes right back down. Yep. So now we're going to bring her out of it into the sit. And then you repeat the process. Leia, sit. Yes, good girl. That's a good girl.
Leia, come. No. Leia, come. Good.
There you go, folks. So as you can see, it works. You just have to get past that rough stage, right? Some dogs, they are going to put up the biggest fight they can possibly put up, right? The most important thing you can do is stay calm. Don't take it personal. The challenge with working systems like this is people start getting frustrated. Once you get frustrated, then what you think the dog is going to do? The dog is going to get frustrated, right? And then the communication is going to be all off. And then the dog is going to get confused. The dog is going to get scared.
Leia, sit.
Good. Leia, come. Come. Place. Sit. Yes, good girl. Good girl. Down. Yeah, good girl. That's a good girl. Okay. You see now, she ain't running all over the place. Look at that. Look at that. Yes, good girl. That's a good girl. That's a good, no, no. So just because we say good girl, that don't mean get up. Yeah, but it's not as,
It ain't as
right.
tough as she was trying to be with it at first.
And I don't have as much pressure on the leash because what I'm looking for is she finally starting to understand to where even the slightest bit of pressure means go down, right? Now, I'm gonna give about 3 more seconds. If she don't go down, then more pressure is gonna come, right? But the difference is she's going down much faster and she's not fighting as much, right? That's the progress. That's the little things that a lot of people don't have the patience, right, to see through. Leia, sit. Yes, good girl. That's a good girl.
Leia, come. Leia, come. Good. Place. Sit.
So before you tell her to go down, get the leash from under her. There you, yeah, just pull the leash out. There you go. So that way, yeah. And you can put it back on the ground, because if you notice what I do is as soon as she goes down, I put a step on it, right?
Down.
Okay, now step on it. There you go. Yeah, that's good. Just leave it just like that, just in case she comes up. Give her some more food. There we go, folks. So as you can see, it really didn't take that long. I mean, we've been recording for maybe 20 minutes, right? Look what we got.
Good.
Okay, now what you do, release your foot, right? But keep it ready in case she goes to get up. There you go. Good.
Sit.
Good. There you go. Good. Leia, come. Yes. Place. Sit. Good. I'll drop that. That's my fault. We'll do it again. Nope. Come. Leia, right here. Yes. Sit. Yes. Good girl. Good girl. Down. Oh, knocked it out my hand, you silly Billy. There you go. So now what we can start doing, because as we can see, she's getting it much more now, right? Good girl. Now what we can start doing is if she pops up, we just say no, a hard no, right? And see if she responds to it. Leia, sit. Yes, good girl.
Leia, come. Sit. Down.
Yeah.
Ah. Nope. No. Sit.
Tell her to sit again.
Leia, sit. Down.
Okay.
She don't get none, right?
Nope. Now bring it to the sit and give her something.
Leia, sit. Sit. Good.
Girl. Leia, come. Yes. Come on, right here. Right here. Yeah, come on. Yes. Place. Sit. Down. Good girl. Yes, good girl. Now I'm testing her on purpose, right? I'm testing to see how long she's gonna hold this before I have to correct her. But I actually want to correct her, right? Because again, this is us. Ah! Sit. Down. Right? So, see how there I came in front, that way I'm prepared to give her that spatial pressure, right? So that's another form of communication is spatial pressure, right? As soon as she started popping up, I came in, took the space away, right? Ah, 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 ah. Yes, down. Right? Took the space away, corrected her, right? So now we're gonna put her back in the sit. Sit. Yes, good girl.
Leia, come. Good.
There we go, folks. There we go.
Sit. Down.
Patience, diligence,
Good
persistence,
girl.
consistency, right? And determination. As you can see, different dog. And she's not depressed. She's not cowering away, right? We just had to teach her what we wanted. That's what training is about. It's about teaching.
Leia, sit.
Okay? So if you're gonna do that spatial pressure, you have to face her. Right? Yeah. So you turn all the way into it. And yeah, yeah. Leia, come. Come. Place. Sit. Down. Good girl. That's a good girl. Ah! Down. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Sit. Yes. That's a good girl. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna give her a break and just let her eat because she worked real good. Sit. Ah. Yeah, we're gonna give her a break and just let her eat. So now we're gonna implement the free command, right? And basically free means you're free to be a dog. You're free to do anything you want to do, right? All right. Leia, free. Yes, go ahead. There you go. Yeah, so now she's free to do whatever she wants. Her training session is over, right? Good girl. Hey, there you go. Good girl. Yes. Yes. There you go. Good girl. So there you go, folks. That's Leia's training session for the day, right? We'll probably go back live and do some more training with the other dogs. So turn on your notifications so you can get, the notifications for when we go live with our training sessions. And obviously you can always reach out if you have any questions. You can send me an email to thestructuredk9academy@gmail.com. You can send me a text directly, 815-351-6636. You can leave a comment below. And look, remember, if you have a bad dog, that's not a dog problem, that's a you problem, and you need to be reaching out to me to help you with your problem. And until the next video, peace and prosperity. Good girl, Leia. Yes, that's a good girl. That's a good girl, mama.